Hi, welcome to Best in Tesla. So, Tesla has come a very long way from when they started production of cars back in 2008 with the original Roadster. They got very close to bankruptcy twice, but is earning more money on each EV they sell than any other OEM earns on selling volume ICE cars, and Tesla has just begun. This is no doubt one of the best underdog stories of all time. So let's take a little look back at what Tesla had to survive, because every other EV startup has to go through the same thing. And let's try to see where Tesla might end up this year, to see if Tesla is looking like someone that is slowing down or speeding up. You might already know the answers to this, but let's take a look into the numbers of Tesla's production and growth, because this is insane. And let's dive right in. Tesla started production of the original Roadster back in 2008, but it looked like it would be over even before it began, because Tesla was running out of money, mostly Elon's money of course, and had to rise the prices of the Roadster even for people who had already ordered. But on the very last day possible, Tesla was saved by investors willing to put in some more investments into Tesla, and Tesla got the Roadster off the ground and delivered to customers. But Tesla was very far from on safe ground. Tesla didn't make a profit before 10 years later, in Q3 2018. Which was also the second year Tesla came single-digit weeks from bankruptcy yet again. But Tesla did make a profit again in Q4 of 2018, but then had red numbers in Q1 and Q2 of 2019. But came back and made some profits in Q3 and Q4. So now it was very interesting to see, could Tesla make a profit in Q1 2020, because Tesla has never made a profit in Q1 or Q2 before. And then the COVID pandemic hit the world, and Tesla had to shut down their production for several weeks, but did end up with profits. Not much, only 16 million in profits, but profits nonetheless. And Tesla managed to stay profitable and grow their profits throughout the year of the pandemic. Very impressive, but as many short sellers like to point out, even though Tesla has just made their first full year with profits, they would not have been able to do so without regulatory credits. And when we look at the net income Tesla made in 2020 and the regulatory credits, well, it does look like they were right. But we have to remember, Tesla is not going for short-term profit. Tesla will spend money as fast as they can to grow as fast as they can. So when they know they will get $1.5 billion within a year in regulatory credits, they would of course spend that extra money to be able to grow faster. So yes, you could say Tesla would not have been profitable in 2020 if it wasn't for regulatory credits. But then again, Tesla would probably just have spent a little less money, growing a little bit slower. But regulatory credits don't matter anymore. I know someone like Gordon Johnson continues to beat the drum of regulatory credits, and I still see it in the comments once in a while as well, but it is no longer relevant. Tesla now earns so much money that even if you take out the almost $1.5 billion that Tesla got in regulatory credits in 2021, they would still have made $4 billion in net income. And just look at the net income here, how it just took off in 2021, and Tesla hasn't looked back since. But even though short sales has been talking about it for years, the regulatory credits will run out, and then what? Well, firstly, they have not run out yet, and this is a great showcase of just how slow the legacy automakers are actually moving. They can't keep up with the emission targets, because they of course don't like to give Tesla money. It hurts both their wallet and their pride, but if they don't, it will hurt their wallet even more because of the fines they will get. So let's see in 2022 if this will start to go down significantly, or Tesla still get free money just given to them by the so-called competition. But let's take a look at Tesla's growth, because this is just truly mind-boggling. In just 5 years, Tesla's revenue has gone up from $7 billion of annual revenue to $53.8 billion. That is an increase of 670%. Or Tesla's net income in 2021 was $5.5 billion, up from $721 million in 2020. Tesla's total revenue in 2015 was $4 billion, and in 2021 their net income was $5.5 billion. Just amazing. That is an insane growth, but it's not like they are slowing down. Just take a look at the net income in Q4 2021. That was $2.3 billion. That was 760% increase from Q4 of 2020. Or just the increase from Q3 to Q4 in 2021 in net income was just over $700 million. That was pretty much what Tesla had in total annual net income in 2020. The growth we see here from Tesla has been nothing but amazing. And if we take a look at Tesla's automotive business, because that is still their main business so far, how does this look going forward? Well, let's start by making some guesses about 2022, because we kind of know most of the facts now. Now it's just how will it play out and how will the supply chain do and so on. But we know Tesla's Fremont factory has a production capacity of 600,000 units, and the Shanghai factory has shown us a production run rate of just over 800,000 units annually in production from what they have produced the last 2 months in production run rate. And they are still ramping up, and Tesla has said they will build out one of the production line in Shanghai with 50%, which should give the overall factory a 20% increase in production. So that factory should get close to a production capacity of 1 million cars already here in 2022 if everything goes right. Maybe even more, as we have heard Tesla has projected to take its weekly production to about 22,000 vehicles at that plant in the coming months, according to sources familiar with the matter. So the two factories, Fremont and Shanghai, together would have a capacity of at least 1.6 million units here in 2022. And Wall Street consensus is that Tesla will not produce much more than 1.45 million vehicles. Well, that is a pretty good number for these two factories alone, with expected downtime and so on. And Wall Street's numbers are of course just adding 50% increase to Tesla's numbers from 2021, as that is still Tesla's guidelines to grow with at least 50%. So it seems like Wall Street are just taking 2021 numbers, adding 50% growth and calling that their estimate for 2022. But we're not done yet. We have 2 new factories coming online this month, so they will be producing cars for 3 quarters this year. So what can we expect from them in 2022? Well, if we look at the ramp of the Model Y in Shanghai, Tesla managed to produce just over 110,000 Model Ys in the first 9 months. So I do expect Tesla to at least be able to do the same for Berlin and Austin. But they should be able to produce the Model Y faster in the 2 new factories because of the 2 gigacasting instead of just 1 new, more efficient way of building a car, as we have seen example of with the seats being attached directly to the structural battery pack in an even more advanced and efficient factory altogether. And Austin is ready with the 4680 cell as well, firstly from Fremont, but soon from the Austin factory itself. So they should be able to just continue ramping up in Austin factory throughout the year. Berlin will have to stop at some point in Q3 or Q4 to make the switch to 4680 cell when their battery factory is ready in Berlin. They should hold the production for about 3 weeks to make this switch, but let's say 1 month, so Berlin will only have 8 months of production instead of 9 as Austin. So let's just say the Berlin factory will be able to produce about 100,000 cars, and Austin will maybe be able to produce about 150,000. So Tesla's total production capacity in 2022 could be somewhere around 1.85 million vehicles. But with all the things Tesla does all the time to improve the production and constantly ramping up production and new factories with new technologies and Tesla sandbagging all the numbers all the time, it's just very hard to know what all of this would be at, because the capacity could also be as high as 2 million if we are a bit more optimistic. But I think around 1.85 vehicles for 2022 is a good starting point. So 1.85 would be if everything goes right, and maybe 1.65 with some downtime and supply chain issues. But where does that leave Tesla in 2022 when we are talking about revenue and profits? Well, Tesla has an average selling price of their cars of $50,500 in 2021, and the gross margin should only go up this year with the economy of scale, since I expect them to pretty much double their production numbers this year. And they have gone up 4% in automotive gross margin every year over the last 3 years. So we should probably expect the same here in 2022, but let's play this a bit more conservative and say they will only have about 30% automotive gross margin. Well, if everything goes right and Tesla will punch out 1,850,000 vehicles at an average price of $50,500, that would mean Tesla's revenue would be just above $93 billion. And with the automotive gross margin of 30% should give them a profit of just over $28 billion. And if they are only making 1.65 million, well, they will have about $83 billion in revenue, or about $25 billion in profit. Even if we take Wall Street estimate of 1.45 million vehicles, and they have never been right about Tesla's number, always too low, well, Tesla will still have over $73 billion in revenue and about $22 billion in profits. Last year, they had $47 billion in automotive revenue and $13.8 billion in profit. So even Wall Street's low estimate, in my opinion, will still make Tesla grow its revenue with more than Tesla made in revenue in all of 2019, just in growth. So no matter how you look at it, Tesla is bound to grow even more in 2022 than they did in 2021, which was a big jump for Tesla. They grew with about $22 billion in 2021 in revenue, but Tesla has a chance of making that $46 billion in 2022. The growth in revenue. So more than doubling their growth in revenue in 2022 compared to their biggest growth ever in 2021. And all of these insane numbers of $93 billion in revenue and production of maybe 1.8 million vehicles, well, that is all just this year. Remember the spike Tesla's production did in 2021, the second year of operation of the Shanghai factory. Well, Tesla will not just have one more factory in its second year of operation. It will have 2 in 2023, and they are both bigger and more efficient. And on top of that, we are hearing rumors about Tesla building their second factory in Shanghai that might even break ground very soon. So maybe that factory will also be ready in the second half of 2023. Yeah, Tesla's growth has just begun, and the explosive growth here in 2022 is with both Berlin and Austin being far from ramped up. Berlin can still make a 5x in capacity from the target we have just given it in 2022 from their phase 1 of the factory, but fully ramped up and fully built out, we are talking about 20x from where they might end up this year. And Austin, well, we don't really know for sure how big this monster will be in production capacity. Tesla has never told us anything about it, probably because it will shock the entire US car industry. But my bet is still that it will be able to produce about 3 million vehicles per year, so the factory will probably also make a 20x from 2022 numbers. So Tesla still has a lot of growing to do just with the factories they have right now. And as Elon said, they are spending money as fast as they can responsibly, and they are getting more and more money to spend. So nothing about Tesla's numbers are showing us they're slowing down. Everything shows us they're speeding up, and that is even with all the competition that has come in over the last 3 years. We have more than 250 EV models to choose from here in Europe, but none of which has slowed down Tesla. They have only been speeding up. And speaking of the competition, well, they still have a long, hard road ahead of them, as we have seen Tesla been through. Like we see Rivian raising their prices, just as we saw Tesla do back in the days, and we see Lucid struggling with getting volume production off the ground, as Tesla did with the Model S and the Model 3 that almost killed them. And the Chinese, NIO and Xpeng, are much further ahead, and both produced about 100,000 cars in 2021, so about the amount that Tesla did in 2017, but they still both have to make profits as well. So it will be very interesting to see if they can get to the 240,000 EVs that Tesla did in 2018 to compare the ramp of these factories. So even though EV startup gets a very high valuation because of people are hoping they will become the next Tesla, well, they all still have to show a profit. They still have a long way to go just to be able to survive. No one is safe yet. We have seen EV startups like Byton or Faraday or Dyson shutting down again, just to name a few. What Tesla has done is not easy, as Bob Lutz said back in the days about Tesla.
I think Elon Musk and the guys are learning what it means to put automobiles into production. Yep. It ain't easy.
Yep, it's not easy, but Tesla did it, Bobby. And is now making more money selling EVs than GM is selling ICE cars. Tesla didn't just figure out how to make cars, they revolutionized how we make cars. So it could be done very profitable, because Tesla could not make a business on maintenance and repairs as all the other legacy automakers do, because EVs do not need anywhere near the same amount of maintenance. So Tesla didn't just learn how to make cars, they make them faster than everyone else now. Now the whole industry is trying to learn what is it that Tesla has done and copy Tesla, as we have seen Ford and Volkswagen come out publicly and saying it is Tesla's production speed of the Model 3 they want to get to. It is Tesla's profit of $10,000 per vehicle we would like to get to. It is Tesla's simple online sales model they want to copy. And Tesla went from the laughingstock of the car industry that no one thought would survive.
The jaws are tightening, and I think in another year or two we'll see a movie called Who Killed Tesla? A conspiracy movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
To be the fastest growing car company on the planet, and if everything goes well in 2022, they could become a top 10 car manufacturer in terms of units produced. If they produce more than 1.7 million cars, they should become bigger than even Audi. Tesla did already become bigger than Volvo and Seat, Renault and Skoda in 2021. But when it comes to operating income, Tesla could really become one of the big boys already this year. Tesla had $6.5 billion in operating income, where Ford had $4.5 billion, GM about $9.4 billion. And Tesla sells only a fraction of Ford and GM's units. So if Tesla will double their operating income this year, well, they should beat both Ford and GM this year. GM is aiming for $13 to $15 billion in operating income, but we'll have to wait and see how it all goes. One thing is for sure, Tesla is no longer in any financial trouble. Their business has become a very efficient machine that is only going up and only speeding up. That there are still even any Tesla queues left is beyond me. They must be controlled by their feelings. Because if you look at the numbers, Tesla is just knocking it out of the park, and the trend clearly shows this is only going up and only speeding up. Everyone else still has to show they can make a reliable and profitable business selling only EVs. So far, it is only Tesla. Every EV startup still needs to get to profits. Every legacy OEM still have to show us the same thing, EV with profits. But on top of that, they still have to show they can wind down their ICE business, as I talked about in my last video, which is almost impossible. So no one else but Tesla is on safe ground, in my opinion. Everyone else is still out of sea, having to survive the biggest storm in automotive history and get to safety on the drive EV-only land. It almost killed Tesla twice to get where they are today. So let's see how many are still standing when the storm is over.
Whether Tesla is ever hugely successful or not, I'll always owe him a debt of gratitude for having kind of broken the ice.
We're a little scrappy company. Every now and again, a little scrappy company wins.